Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of voice radio. So today, well, I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a day where we celebrate the lovely folks over at TotalCards.net. Now, I've used their site on a bunch of videos over the years. They are a great website. I've got them bookmarked. You really should have them bookmarked. You should be checking them regularly. Plus, they're cool with me using them as long as I give them credit, which I always do because I'm not a meanie. Point is, they have been crushing it on the news lately. So if you're not checking TotalCards.net regularly, I'll pop some links to all these stories in the description. Make sure you do so. TotalCards.net are on it. They are dropping news before other people are. They're awesome, and I love them. And they have revealed 4 bits of news lately that we need to get to in this video. First of which is the Hidden Fates logo. And here's the thing, right? I think I might be wrong. And I don't say that lightly, and I don't say that with any joy. I like being right. Being right is fun. But when we looked at Hidden Fates the other day, we had very, very, very little information. And I suggested it probably wasn't going to feature a reprint of all of those shiny cards from GX Ultra Shiny. And my reason was extremely simple. It doesn't make much sense. Because by the time this comes out, the majority of the cards in GX Ultra Shiny will have rotated. And it doesn't make a huge amount of sense. I'll pop a link to my previous video in the description. So I still stand by the fact that it doesn't make much sense. However, look at the logo. Look at the stars, look at the Pokemon featured in the background, etc., etc. It seems extremely likely that it does now feature GX Ultra Shiny. I would rather it didn't, because I like being right. But the fact of the matter is, get ready for these cards like Shiny Charizard and Shiny Rayquaza, because it looks like it's coming. Now, I've done videos about GX Ultra Shiny. I'll link them in the description. Long story short, it's largely a reprint set with shiny versions of existing Pokemon. Now, it's not just the GXs we see on the screen. We've got stuff like Oranguru here as well, which is very cool. But again, that's rotated out. A lot of these cards are rotating out before this set even actually drops. And that makes it a weird kind of proposition. Because what we've got is this really beautiful set that is going to be wonderful for collectors, and it's going to be largely ignored by players unless you're really into the expanded format. Cool. The other big bit of news we got is the Power Partnership tins. The next set of tins has been revealed, and according to the lovely folks at Total Cards, it is going to feature Lucario and Melmetal, Garchomp and Giratina, and Mew Mew. Now, look, these are good selections. They're not trying to pass off something like Muck and Alolan Muck. I have nothing against Muck and Alolan Muck. It's just not terribly playable. Now, the other thing is, they're not giving us Reshiram and Charizard. Reshiram and Charizard is the best of the tin cards so far. Hands down, no questions. Or the best one that could be in the tins, because it's the best tag team GX. Now, to be fair, in the previous tins, they gave us Pikachu and Zekrom, which up until Reshiram and Charizard is the best and is still the second best. So look, they're being nice to us. And they used to not. The tins used to be pretty bad. In recent years, they've been really, really good at hooking us up with really nice tin promos. And they seem to be doing so again here. So, Lucario and Melmetal, now we have seen the alternate art of that over in Japan, and we know that these are going to be alternate art promos. So here's what it's going to look like. And as a card, it's pretty good. The GX attack reduces damage done to all your metal Pokemon by 30 for the rest of the game, which is pretty nuts good. And then outside of that, it's okay. 4 energy, 150 is fine. 2 energy, 50 damage, and attach a metal energy is fine. It's not amazing, but there are quite a few Lucario and Melmetal with Vileplume decks doing really rather well this weekend over in Santa Clara, so that's kind of nice. Of course, these are being released on September the 9th. Which on the upside, yay, 20 days before my birthday. On the downside, that is post-rotation. So okay, Lucario and Melmetal Vileplume might be a good deck now. It won't become rotation because Vileplume is rotating. We're also getting Garchomp and Giratina. And I love Garchomp and Giratina. And the great thing about Garchomp and Giratina, it is a good deck. And it will be a good deck post-rotation. Here's what the alternate art looks like. It's pretty stunningly good. But it's played with Malamar. And the thing is, right, Malamar accelerates your energy, and that's staying post-rotation. And then here you do 240 damage for a Psychic Fighting Colorless. So you use Malamar to get the 2 Psychic on and then attach a Fighting. And you can always use something like Viridian Forest. Verbank is a city gem, that's not the same. To get the fighting energy. And then you do 240 to a damaged Pokemon. And you can use Giratina to damage the Pokemon on the bench. This is a really good deck over in Japan. And I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be a good deck over here. But the real headliner here is Mew Mew. Mewtwo and Mew Tag Team GX looks like it's going to be, and I've said this out loud and I stand by it, the best Tag Team GX. Now, the ability lets you use the attack of any Tag Team GX in your discard pile or on your bench, and fine, it's turned off by Power Plant, which is a bit of a pain, but outside of that, it's great. So you can just copy Reshiram and Charizard, and you can still use stuff like Wilder to accelerate energy, except now you're not weak to water anymore. Or you can play it with something like Porygon Z and just play a whole bunch of special energy like Rainbow Energy and then just have, 7 different Tag Team GXs in the discard pile and copy whichever one you feel like copying. Frankly, ladies and gentlemen, this is a phenomenal card, and the fact that we're getting it in a tin is wonderful. No, we're not getting Reshiram and Charizard, and that's a little bit sad. But they're giving us what I believe is the best Tag Team GX. And then 2 other pretty gosh darn playable Tag Team GXs. Yeah. This is a good set of tins. Now, as I've said, they're coming out on September the 9th, and it looks like they're going to be the same as the previous tins. So expect a big fat Metal GX marker, expect 4 packs, and expect the price to be slightly higher than it was last time. So the previous tins, expect these to be slightly higher than that. Now, the other 2, we don't have quite as much information, but we do need to have a quick shout out. And again, all this comes from Total Cards. They are awesome. On September the 6th, we are getting the 3rd wave of the Pokeball tins. So those are the big, round Pokeball tins where you get 3 random booster packs and a coin. Now, the way they did it previously was in the first lot, most of them were Ultra Ball, but 1 out of 6, I believe, was Quick Ball. And then in the second wave, most of them were Great Ball, and then I believe 1 out of 6 was a Luxury Ball. So look, the main one here is going to be Ultra Ball. We know how Pokemon works. Pokeball, Great Ball, Ultra Ball. It's how it works in a game, it's how it works in Pokemon Go, it's how it works. So we know that the main tins here are going to be Ultra Ball. As for the other ones, I don't really know. I would want to say Premier Ball here, but honestly, I would have predicted that for the first wave, because when you buy a lot of Pokeballs, you get a Premier Ball. I mean, the fact that we got a Luxury Ball really does throw things into a little bit of disarray. And to be fair, Premier Ball was also the prediction made by Total Cards, so we are on the same wavelength there. It's the only one that really makes sense to me. So I'm going to go along with that. We'll see. But I feel extremely confident the majority of them are going to be Ultra Ball. And then the last piece of news we've got a new set of mini tins, which are going to be coming out. Although it doesn't look like Total Cards have actually got a release date here, unfortunately. And there's basically just a set of 5 tins. And they're going to feature Charizard, Pikachu and Vulpix, Mewtwo, Dragonite, and Mew and Psyduck. Each tin is going to get you 2 booster packs, 1 metallic coin, and an art card. Yes, these are very, very much like the arty tins we got fairly recently, where you line them all up and they make a little bit of a picture. So if you're into all of that, I mean, it's kind of get them all or get none. Because if you get them all, you get the 5 art cards, and then you can frame them, and it's amazing. So I think that's probably the way to go. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Lots of exciting news, lots of cool stuff coming, lots of things to get rather excited about. And I would like to know which of these stories you're excited about, how excited about them you are, and any other predictions that you might have. Go nuts, ladies and gentlemen, but please do remember the rule. Be nice, would you? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WasiPlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.